Yeah, brilliant. And I really like the point you make about almost finding your passion in this sort of serendipitous, slightly circuitous way, because people always say, look, find your passion and go after that. But for a lot of people, you don't know what your passion is, and until you try a few things, then and realize that you're good at it, because it could all well be being that you're great, you love doing something, but you're awful at doing it. So you can't turn that into a job. So you have to obviously love something, you have to be competent, but you also have to be able to have an impact and a boss who gives you the chance to do things. Don't you think so?
Oh, totally. I mean, there's a couple of points there. First of all, I do sometimes caution my clients that if you turn your hobbies into a full-time job, you may stop enjoying them. So you have to also bear that in mind. But, you know, when you're talking about this idea that you must have this passion or know what you want or even this sense of purpose, I think we've, in a way, gone too far with that. And now I meet a lot of people who feel this pressure very early on in their career to know what their perfect job will be, what their passion will be. And by the way, we're always going to change. So it's very rare that your perfect job would be your job for life. But there's all this pressure so young to know what you're meant to be here to do and to make the exact right job decision. And as you can see from my career, there were a lot of changes of direction on the way. There was not a, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing, here's the methodical plan. And then if we look back to our parents, you know, my dad had almost the same job for life. He had two employers and he did the same thing and he loved it. But he didn't expect that his job would fulfill every part of his life and it would be the be all and end all. He was a great role model for work-life balance. His passion was sailing and that's what he loved doing outside of work. So we've kind of gone from this generation before us where you weren't expected to even like your job. You were just expected to do it and get paid and enjoy yourself outside of work. And then if you think about the generation after us, Harsha, where they want their job to be the most amazing, fulfilling thing, and everyone has got to do something brilliant, and everyone feels like they must be an entrepreneur, which is totally not true. And it creates its own pressure. And you know, in Buddhism, they always talk about the middle path. And I talk to my clients about this a lot because we tend to deal in extremes. And I say, there's a middle path. For me, the middle path was, I don't exactly know what I'm meant to be doing or what I'm really, really good at. So why don't I try and find it out? And whilst I do that, why don't I work in an industry with really intelligent people who I can learn a lot of? And also, I had the added benefit that it was a very well-paid industry to work in. And I think there's nothing wrong as a young person with saying, I'm just going to do a job that's pretty well paid and sets me up while I work out what I want to do next. And at the same time, I might, you know, put some savings aside. So if one day I want to start up a business, I actually have some backing to do that rather than trying to do it the minute you come out of school or university. I think there are kind of ways that we can do these things.